Hey guys, happy Tuesday. Thanks for stopping by for another episode here at alliseeisW, where we talk about stocks, crypto, and finance. In today's video, I'd like to go through the latest updates with the market, specifically crypto, with Ethereum having a nice field day today, as well as, the biggest treasury company, that is BitMine Immersion Technology, BMNR stock. We'll be covering latest updates with Ethereum, BMNR stock. How high can Ethereum really go? We'll go through the latest updates as well as covering technical analysis of BMNR stock, how high I think BMNR can go in this cycle. And if you're new to this channel, first off, I'm so thrilled that you're here. I would really appreciate you hitting the like, turning on the bell notification, and subscribing if you enjoyed this content. Don't miss it. I will also be playing a recent video clip of Cathie Wood, who is a big time investor of BMNR stock. Let's begin, guys. As crypto posts today, ETH went to 4,868 in 2021 without ETFs buying billion in ETH weekly. Genius Act, trillions in stables on ETH. Treasury companies buying billions in ETH. US president holding over $500 million on ETH. OTCs running out of ETH to sell. This Ethereum pump will be different. So put it in the comments how high you think Ethereum can go with all of these macro scale updates. And today we also got inflation numbers. Actuals showed that, inflation data is going down at you know, uh, it's going down overall. So this really caused the markets to have a bullish run. And, we're expecting rate cuts to be coming. Ted posts Forbes ETH $1,000 higher. So we had Forbes article released about Ethereum. Can Ethereum go to $10,000? Put it in the comments. I'd love to hear what you're saying. But even tomlee is forecasting Ethereum. It's not a matter of if, but it's when Ethereum hits 16,000. But when you scale out even further from now, a decade from now, how high can Ethereum go? I mean, the fact that Bitcoin's going to go to 21 million according to Michael Saylor, Ethereum's gonna, be way higher than, 16,000. Eric Trump posts, how am I doing now, Ashley? I mean, Ashley was the one that was calling out Eric when Eric, suggested, to buy Ethereum at the time. But overall, Eric Trump was suggesting to, buy the dips, and he's been right. And what he's saying is you really ought to get out of this business. So, oh my goodness, look at Eric using Robinhood app with Ethereum. This is very bullish. Ethereum, reaching over 4,600. And just look at what Ashley commented. If you trust Eric Trump, just remember he told you to buy ETH at 2,900 before he used as you as exit liquidity. This is back in June. So just calling out Eric, in my opinion, it's a great time to add ETH. You can thank me later. So she's calling out Eric during that time when he called that out and it went down. What has happened since? I mean, it's bullish. I mean, over 4,600. BitMine BMNR post is, ARK Invest Daily. We know about Cathie Wood. She's like the lead at ARK Invest. ARK Invest, they bought tons and tons of shares at BMNR. And what happened? I mean, just with this question, did Ethereum just report earnings or something? Over 4,600 now. That's hilarious. And, BMNR just put ETH beat and raise. Amit posts tomlee is raising $20 billion to buy more Ethereum. Oh my goodness. I mean, just think about this with BMNR announcing a $20 billion increase so that they can acquire more Ethereum. I mean, they're trying to be like the next MSTR, of Ethereum. So we hear about Michael Saylor, with strategy being the number one company holding on to Bitcoins. It looks like, Tom Lee is trying to do the same, trying to create that big disparity, to become the biggest company to hold Ethereum. So, he's trying to create that 5% alchemy. There's no second best type of deal with BMNR. But overall, right now, it's a race. There's a lot of companies that are aggressively buying, you know, uh, Ethereum right now, similar to like SBET, which is right behind BitMine Immersion technology. Big Mike posts BMNR broke out. Next target is $116. So we'll see. It's only a matter of time until we see how high BMNR can go. So I posted, on X, back in July 28th, so not too long ago, about 2 weeks ago, I indicated BMNR has upside potential, $60 near term. So where we are right now, we've reached that on the near term. So this is a valid statement. BMNR recently announced an ATM offering to fund additional ETH purchases. Stock price dipped due to market dilution concerns. Pullback presents buying opportunity with short-term price target around $60, backed by Cathie Wood and tomlee. Currently ETH forming a bullish pennant flag pattern, price projection 10,000 plus by end of 2025, and it's mirroring Bitcoin's historical 2021 breakout. So I posted this, back in July 28, and we're beginning to see a U-shaped cup and handle formation with BMNR stock. TrendSpider posts Ethereum going vertical. BMNR bull case still heating up. Your sidekick has the receipts. More coming your way. So let's just take a look at this, AI response based on the question is, what is the bull thesis of BMNR? So number one, Ethereum treasury strategy. BitMine has pivoted to become an ETH treasury company and now holds, X amount of ETH. In fact, they announced that they have over 1 million ETH, in their treasury right now. So they technically are the biggest, largest ETH holder company to date. Institutional backing, they have Peter Thiel as a consumer growth, backing the company up. Cathie Wood's ARK Invest, they acquired 4.77 million shares. That's over $182 million in investment. We have Bill Miller also taking a significant stake. Management expertise. Tomlee, he has that, that Wall Street exposure. Fundstrat co-founder and ETH bull. I mean, he was appointed chairman. So they're positioning themselves to become the MicroStrategy of Ethereum. Now, strategic moves, thinking about how they announced a 10-year consulting agreement with Ethereum Tower, approved a stock repurchase program of up to $1 billion, and their price performance, we continue to see the stock price surge. I mean, it went from $4 to $161 in a matter of like days and weeks. And we had a big pullback, but that doesn't mean that BMNR can't get back up to those levels. Now, the bull thesis is primarily built on BitMine following MSTR's playbook, but with Ethereum instead of Bitcoin. The company is betting on Ethereum becoming a critical infrastructure for financial services, with tomlee describing ETH as one of the biggest macro trends for the next 10 to 15 years. So when you think about it, I mean, tomlee is, the Michael Saylor in this ETH environment. Let's take a look at technical analysis. So ETH today, broke above 4,600. You think about it, an extra 200 in ETH price means it breaks its 2021 all-time high. It's crazy to think that ETH hasn't even broken its all-time high when we have all these other crypto coins like Bitcoin reaching all-time high in 2025. I really do think ETH, we're here to stay. We're going to break through that all-time high within the matter of days, weeks, and we're going to get to levels like, 7,800, 10,000 is my prediction in 2025. But what we're seeing is increased volume. Obviously, BlackRock has been just buying Ethereum left and right. Even Trump has been buying Ethereum. I mean, BlackRock, along with Fidelity, they've been just buying millions and millions to support their ETFs like ETH. But just looking at overall, ETH continues to trend up. It's not shooting up significantly, but it continues to just, trend up, which is a good thing. And I really do think that we're going to break out very soon here. And this is going to be very favorable for BMNR, their cost average for just holding on to Ethereum. I mean, much lower than the current price. So obviously, all of that is unrealized, gains, which will be reflected on their balance sheet. Let's take a look at BMNR technical analysis. So I was calling out, buying BMNR at around this support level. I felt like this is where, the support will sit somewhere around that $28 threshold. And since then, we've been seeing a nice reversal pattern, which has been very favorable for those who bought at, the support level. RSI definitely has resetted from that overbought situation back in early July 94. Extreme overbought situation. It's been, stabilized with the relative strength, and now we're just seeing that U-shaped formation. I think on the near-term course, it'll be key to see, how BMNR performs, especially around this level. I think there's going to be some resistance at around that 88. So, depending on how you want to approach this, whether you want to take profits or not, if you're full conviction mode, where you believe that it's going to reach its prior resistance, I leave that up to you. But I think that taking profits is always something you should consider. Again, this isn't financial advice. The fact that it reached 160 in the last resistance level during July, it has potential to break out. I mean, if you believe ETH can get up to $10,000, definitely current price action, it could definitely have a multiplier effect, like a MNAV 2 to 4x multiplier. But let's say if you're focused on taking profits and all that, just be cautious about this level here at $88. I think if we, break into the all-time highs, we may very well achieve this $88 and onward. But that's just my overall assessment. I think the next pit stop is around this green line. We may have some resistance here where it can consolidate. And if we see the resistance become the new support, it's just going to be that next leg up where it just has a mini correction, stabilizes, support established at the green level, and then we may very well ramp up. But to me, I think that BMNR is just maturing similar to how we've seen MSTR mature as a company. And now it's like into hundreds of dollars. So it's only going to be a matter of time where BMNR will be very similar, where it will continue to mature and add value to shareholders.
Ethereum, while it might be higher cost and a little slower, it's more decentralized and therefore more secure. Yes, we have been watching carefully who is signing on to what protocol as they begin to develop their digital asset strategies. So, well, first we saw Coinbase for its layer 2 base chose Ethereum. More recently, we saw Robinhood for the layer 2 that it is evolving, also building on top of Ethereum. We had a thesis that Ethereum was going to be the institutional protocol. Solana had a massive run relative to Ether. And so many people were challenging that notion, and yet we're seeing the votes being placed. And it makes sense. Ethereum, while it might be higher cost and a little slower, it's more decentralized and therefore more secure.
So there you heard it from Cathie Woods. Let me know what your thoughts are with this video. If you enjoyed this content, I would really appreciate your support with the like, subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys.